Hello everybody, I'm Giuseppe Basili, also known as the FibStalker. Welcome to this daily and intraday review, and today is February the 5th, 2018, and this brief video is part of the FibStalker Analysis and Trading Service. As usual, if you have not read and accepted the usual disclaimer, please stop the video now, pause the video now, and read it and accept it. Thank you very much. And let's get into our markets here. Starting from the SP 500, as you can see here, this market has continued lower, and possibly it has put a double bottom here on the 4-hour time frame. So the two levels that we indicated yesterday are still valid: 2793 and 2807, and I will also consider a lows to lows here on the 4-hour time frame, because if this market continues moving lower, that's where the test should be made. 2776. Okay, that's the level, the 4-hour level. The dollar index is continuing higher, which is suggesting a correction lower for all the majors, and at this point it is trading the 89.32. So we'll need to see what happens there. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see the continuation of this extension here, and you remember we also made the case of a 50% retrace here, so we'll go with a 50% retrace, and the 89.48 is the next level. So this market could actually keep moving higher and challenges 89.57. So the next level in that case would be the 90.17. Okay, Australian dollar, US dollar is continuing its move lower here. There was a bounce out of that level, the 78.94. The extension here has failed, and so on the 4-hour time frame the market is not very technical. Let's see if the traditional has traded here 79.65, and the high was 79.53, so it's 8 pips. So it's actually a lot, but I'll consider that. And actually what's happening here is that an inner measure move is actually trading, is the lows to lows. When that happens, still okay. There's very little we can do here, and the 79.55 is the price and anchor that is responsible for continuing to push in this price lower. Euro dollar has traded 50% short here during the European session open here, and as you can see, it's challenging, and it has pierced the 24.04. so this level is now gone here, and the next level of support is the 50% 23.50 that has traded already. So this is going to be a second test here, and it's possible for this second test to fail. On the 4-hour time frame, 23.38, that's the second target of this measure move. If the market bounces off 23.90 at 23.81 area here, then we're going to trace the next measure move. Okay, and that's going to be a pretty good short opportunity, the 124.27. Pound versus US dollar is also strongly moving lower here. It also pierced the 140.933, which is corresponding to the 141.28, and it's actually challenging the 39.98 here. And again, it's very possible for this market to fail the second test and continue lower on that continuation of the correction lower here. Okay, so this market are very extended here, and they're putting on a correction due to the correction higher the dollar index, and we will see how to capture the next measure moves. If this market continues lower, the anchor on the weekly is going to be the 141, on the daily is going to be the 141.54. The market has hit first and second target here of this extension, and I'm going to use the lows to lows here to capture the next measure move short. It's going to be lows 141.01 to whatever lows this is going to print. If this is not the if the low is not in, this is going to continue lower, and we need to keep updating this 140.46 level, and that's the current level. US dollar Canadian dollar continues its strong move higher, and at this point also the 124.17 level is gone here, and this market is decisively going to retest the 125.64 level. Okay, so this market here is moving in extensions here, and the first daily bar is being used here, and this has been tested here, 123.90, the low was 123.96, and keeps pushing price higher. First target hit, second target 125.24 is on the way. US dollar Swiss franc also has traded at 50%, which was tested already, as you remember, on Friday. I mentioned this, so congrats to those of you who took the long here. 0.9293, first target hit, second target is above, and then there are a number of levels here, the 93.92, which will come into play, and this level is going to reject, at least initially, a price here. So we should see a bounce, and where we capture the continuation higher is going to be by tracing from lows to whatever highs are going to be printed. US dollar Japanese yen, this market went to test that extension that I indicated in the videos yesterday. Congrats to those of you who took the trade here. This level was tested with 3 pips, and 110.88 is the first target here higher, and then we are gonna face that 111 that we mentioned yesterday. This is the all the way halfway back between lows and highs here, and this level is likely not to hold. In fact, we have the second target of this current extension long, which is well above that level, 111.54. All right. New Zealand dollar has traded the extension short that I mentioned yesterday, the 23.29, and it's decisively pushing lower here. I'm into this trade, and I'm looking for 0.72 trading here at this point. So the first target of this extension is the 72.51. The second target is the 72.11, and this extension is the one that corresponds to the extension that played up in the Australian dollar US dollar. Okay, so whether we get that bounce or not, we don't know just yet, but this market is nicely moving lower here. US dollar Singapore dollar also has resumed that move higher, has not traded the 31.33. It has traded an inner notable anchor here, and that's what's trading at the moment. That's the high to new high, that's what's trading. So I'm gonna remove this level here, the 131.61 is pushing this price into the second target of the larger measure move, and first and second target of this inner measure move again at 31.61. all right, so this is it for the majors, and let's quickly review also the other 12 markets here. We had a reaction higher in the Australian Canadian pair here, and I'm gonna look at 50% here. That should come into play shortly, and we will see whether that is going to reverse this price. Just want to remind that this move higher has failed below the 99.63, so there is a short bias in this market, which means that this 50% here could actually come into play and see a reaction. The extension, daily extension chart is also in play, but so far we have seen no reaction to that. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, this market has a downward bias and is continuing lower here. It couldn't make it into this 88.90 level that I had indicated, but it's just continuing lower in extensions here, and we're gonna use the second bar here to low. The market has reached that second target, so the next measure move is going to be lows to lows here, and this is being tested here, okay, at the moment. So this market could just continue lower from this level here, from the 88.20. The next we have the euro Australian dollar. The euro Australian dollar has seen a correction. I've indicated this 56.26 that has not been tested yet. This market could get into the level and test the level. On the daily, what I'm using, sorry, on the 4 hour I'm really using a daily level, the highs to new highs here. As you can see, this level has not been tested yet. We need to wait for this level to be tested to get involved long. Euro pound, this market is reacting higher and now has pierced those two levels mentioned in yesterday's review, and so at the moment we have to consider longs in play, and in 90.24 here could be retested. If this market retraces, we are going to use the high that you see here to whatever new highs, and as you can see, this level has traded already. Okay, now whether this is going to hold, if this is going to hold, it's going to push price higher into 088.80 and 088.95. okay, so that's what these are the two levels we're gonna look at in a continuation higher, but we are going to remove these shorts here and consider short level and consider that this market could now retest the 90.24. The euro Canadian dollar, as mentioned, continues higher again around that first target with a potential for continuation higher. On the 4 hour time frame, we see the traditional measure move here that has held, and the first target lines up with that first target of the larger time frame. This market can and will likely continue higher here at this point. The euro is weak, but the Canadian dollar is weakening as well, and so the there's a possibility for a continuation higher in this market. The second target is 156.09 at this point. Okay, so the next market is euro Japanese yen here. So let's look at the euro Japanese yen, and this market has this extension long on the weekly in play. On the 4-hour time frame, these lows to highs has not been respected. So this is a busted setup, and we are seeing that correction lower. So what I'm gonna do in this market, I'm gonna use the lows to highs to if this market completes this this correction here. At the moment is trading previous high, so previous resistance, now support. That's what's trading. So the setup on the larger time frame is upwards, so this market could continue higher from the current levels. Euro, New Zealand dollar, it's still trying to correct from that 169 170 level that we mentioned in the review. Lows to highs mentioned that have not initially worked here. If we look at the 167 65, as you can see here, this level has never been tested. Okay, so in here we must use an extension long, and the first target of that extension has been hit here, and if this market retraces, continues that retrace, the 50% will be the level that we want to watch for a continuation high, 169.41. That's the level we have to look for in a continuation higher. So there is support from the daily here, as well as we identified the 6812 that reached target. So we'll need to see if this market has been rejected yesterday at the open of the market and could correct into 169.41. Pound versus Australian dollar. This market on weakness of the pound is now correcting. It is on top of that 167.68 level, and this level is now in play. This is an extension long. We'll need to see whether that holds. If this level does not hold, then the full 50% retrace needs to be considered here, and that will put price into the 174.77. On the when we look at the 4-hour time frame here, we look at the sequence in the 4-hour time frame, we have the this 50% measure move that hit target just above the highs, and so the next measure move on the 4-hour time frame is going to be high to high. It's going to be 176.03. If this level gets traction, this could keep pushing this price high. It's not yet everything given for granted here in this market, but considering how the pound is correcting, this could continue lower. So the importance is to test this 176.03 level. That's what we have to test. All right, pound versus New Zealand dollar. This market is also correcting, as we mentioned yesterday. My retest this 21.27. Now that seems very likely at this point, and we'll need to see whether that holds or not. Okay, and in the in the 4-hour time frame here, we had this market, this move, very extended move. So I'm going to use an extension, highs to highs here, and 190.70 will it's another level that we have to watch. It actually found participation before, and when it did, actually also dipped into that daily area. The The shorter inner 50% here is not holding, so that's an indication that this market is likely going to continue lower. Pound versus Canadian dollar, same situation here, the similar situation, and the extension for the extension that that captures this retrace here comes from it's a jumping extension here in this case, and that's the same level that it's on the daily here. The sequence on in the last few days here has not been technical, so we're going to consider the 50%, the 174.29, it needs to be tested. If it pierced, we're going to see a retest of 173.18. The second last market here is pound versus Japanese yen. Strong correction in this market as well, so the 152.71 seem likely now to be retested. The 50% long is still holding here. If this pierces and then the market moves higher, then we could get an opportunity for a short, because this market is very extended into the 152.71. And lastly and finally, the New Zealand dollar Canadian dollar here, due to weakness of the Canadian dollar, it's continuing higher despite the weakness in the New Zealand dollar as well. The setups, the daily setups, 90.15 is there and is pushing price higher. At this point, price could actually dip into more into the 90.87 level. We always need to look at the counter trend here, and as you can see, the counter trend is still intact. The shorts have been have defended the levels as well. So of course we have a daily long against a 4-hour short, but this has been tested once, twice, 3 times. We'll need to see whether that holds. If that holds, the 98.87, it's gone, and the 092 resistance level will be in play. Okay, so this is it for this daily and intraday update. I'm going to update the Excel and post this in the room. Thank you very much. Bye bye now.